Hello. We are absolutely cooked, ladies and gentlemen. AI is taking over the world, and there's nothing you or I could do about it. Because apparently, if you throw billions and billions of dollars at something, that just automatically makes it completely infallible, and you have to trust it with your life, okay? Microsoft didn't spend 100 billion, 500, I don't even know the number. It's a ridiculous fucking number, okay? They invested in the future, and they're gonna stop at nothing to make sure the future comes. In today's body cam footage video, we're looking at a guy who gets wrongly accused of trespassing in a casino because his face was identified as someone else's face by an AI system.
Peppermill has this pretty sophisticated artificial intelligence software that analyzes faces of previous trespassers.
I am not Mike. I don't know nothing about Mike.
And they get a 100% match on this guy who, whenever they trespassed him before, presented an ID that had a different name.
So we're following this police officer as he arrives to the casino, and the casino already has this man in custody because their AI system flagged him as a trespasser, and he claims that that's not him and that the system was wrong.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
How you doing? Oh, thank God you're here.
The man declaring his relief at the sight of the officer is 40-year-old Jason Killinger, who is accused of trespassing at the Peppermill Casino.
So we got this suspicion alert, prior trespasser,
Okay.
and we made contact with him, arrested him, and he claimed that wasn't him. And
What does my
so
name
we're just
say
trying
on
to
the
get you guys to make a final call if it's really him or not.
Did he have a different driver's license or a secondary one, or has he got more property than just this one?
Just those effects right there, and that's it.
stuff.
1 second, pal.
But no other forms of identification. Things in his pocket.
You guys ran this information through our dispatch?
Through your guys' dispatch? No. We ran it through ours, comes back as that being who he says he is on his ID, but that's what we went off right there.
A few months earlier, a man named Michael had been trespassed from the casino for sleeping on the premises.
I will admit they do look pretty similar. However, if it's an AI system, there had better be more pictures of that guy than just that one. So far, I think that they only have that one picture, but that's probably not the case. I really hope they have a database. The AI has a limited data set, right? And so it doesn't have enough pictures or enough angles of the trespasser in order to discern this guy's face from the trespasser's face. They probably spent millions on this AI system, but it doesn't have enough data to actually do its job. I'm willing to bet that this is not the first time this has happened either. Imagine this on like a countrywide scale, right? Imagine if Palantir got their way. This shit would be happening every other day.
Yes, that is who I am. I drive the semis for UPS. I am not Mike. I don't know nothing about Mike. I'm a craps player here. Look, there's my socks for
Okay.
UPS.
So in that report there's an ID on there as well, and we can show you that one.
Okay.
Jason, a long combination vehicle driver, had been playing craps until about 3 a.m. when he decided to leave the Peppermill and go to the Atlantis Casino. There he was approached by a security guard who addressed him as Mike. When Jason clarified that he was not Mike and presented the guard with his driver's license, the guard apologized and walked away. However, as Jason attempted to leave, he was surrounded by security guards and handcuffed. He was told that he was under arrest for trespassing.
They see him and they're like, oh, you're not Mike. My bad, bro. But then the AI is like, wait, no, that is Mike. So now they're confused and they don't know if they should believe their own intuition or if they're wrong. So I think the real problem with AI here is that it's messing with people's perception and causing them to lose confidence in their own judgment. But I don't know if it's infallible because there are so many factors when it comes to a face and when it comes to pictures in general. There are so many factors like distance from the lens, whether or not it's in focus, the angle, the lighting, all of those factors contribute to whether or not the AI is going to determine if this person is another person, if these two people match, versus like a human being. If Michael's been to this casino, right, surely he's interacted with the staff at the casino. They would recognize the way he talks, the way he walks, all of these things about a person that when you see them in person, they stick out to you. Or the staff doesn't consider any of that anymore because now the AI is telling them it's 100% Michael. You don't even have to worry about that. Maybe trust your instincts a little more and stick with your guns. Maybe you'll get it right. Even maybe relying on AI isn't a good idea.
So that's the ID that he presented. Old B.
Look in the nose.
Yeah. Very weird. Let me snap a picture of that. I'll run both names.
The casino's AI facial recognition software positively identified Jason as Michael, the man they had trespassed.
So let's assume that the AI only has this one picture of Michael. Look at this shitty ass black and white picture, and they're both wearing black. So yeah, I can see how the AI would see this as the same person. But I think anybody with eyes could tell you they aren't the same person. Damn, they do look similar. But yeah, I think the reason the AI says they look very similar, like 100% similar, is Michael's hair isn't showing, and they're both wearing black shirts. Either way, I think they don't have enough pictures of Michael for their AI to be determining whether or not Michael is here, unless they take pictures of Michael from the security cameras or something. But otherwise, I don't know.
The only thing that was weird is that we'll have to, lift him up and see how tall he is.
Yeah.
It's
On
because
this.
that says he's 5'9", and that says 6'1".
Yeah.
This isn't the only difference between Michael and Jason's IDs.
Okay. Well, now with this, yeah, no, they don't look the same at all. Holy shit. They have the same head shape for sure. But it says here that Jason weighs 285 pounds and Michael weighs 235 pounds. And they both happen to be from the same state too. That's crazy. Huh, well, what are the odds? Look at that. I mean, one of them is like 50 pounds lighter than the other though, right? 50 pounds makes a big difference.
Pictures are the nose.
Right, and then we have our new system, our new facial recognition system, and that's what it's telling us. Is it's telling us that it's looking at it, and it's doing that. And then there was another one that came up when he was at our TRK, which is one of our better cameras. This is right before we arrested him. We looked at it and said, that's him. And it came up
100%. Okay.
100% match.
Yeah. So if the software is saying it, that it's legit.
Right.
So if the software is saying it, it must be legit. The software is all knowing. There can't be anything wrong with the software. The software is God. We must obey the software. We paid millions of dollars for the software. The software is God. Can you imagine? The software has a bug in it or it's inaccurate. Okay, so from this screenshot, it looks like every 2 minutes or so, this AI system catches Mike on the camera here, or Jason on the camera. So the AI system has plenty of pictures of Jason in its database. Unfortunately, it's labeling each and every one of those pictures as Michael. So now the question is the Michael database being corrupted by pictures of Jason? From the moment Jason walked into this casino, it recognized him as Michael. So now every 2 minutes, a screenshot of Jason is getting put into the Michael folder, so that now whenever the AI sees Jason walking around, it literally is 100% match, because the fucking test data has more pictures of Jason in it than it does Michael. We can only assume this is the case for this one person. How many other people is the AI misidentifying and adding to, different data sets?
Even if he had a twin, it wouldn't be 100%
Right.
on the facial, right?
I wouldn't think so, but I don't know, because they say twins share DNA, right?
But
I guess it depends upon if they're identical.
I've seen identical twins where it's like moms can tell them apart.
But I'm pretty sure that even identical twins' faces aren't 100% the same, which also contributes to my theory that there's more pictures of Jason in the database than there are Michael, because the only way it would be 100% one-to-one is if it's literally the exact same face. So, that's just what I'm thinking.
Right after our officers made contact and they saw the ID that he's presenting today, and they're like, okay, it's not the same guy, he immediately gets up and starts cashing out, like running for the door. I'm like, okay, if it really wasn't him, why is he running for
Why
the
is
door?
he getting ready to leave?
Well, look at that. What the hell is that guy's problem? What do you mean? He got up. Well, we saw it wasn't him, and we were like, okay. But then he started to leave, and we were like, wait a minute. If that's really not you, why are you trying to leave? What if he was getting up to go to the bathroom? We knew it was him, but then he started to go to the bathroom, and we were like, wait a minute. Why are you trying to hide away from us if you're really not Michael? He doesn't live at the casino. He has the right to go wherever he wants. He can leave. Even if he was leaving, isn't that what you want?
Jason would later explain that earlier that night he played at the Legends Bay Casino, the Nugget Casino, and the El Dorado Casino before arriving at the Peppermill around 11:30 p.m. He claimed that each time he was up $200, he would move on to a new casino, And just before his arrest, he had made $200.
I have a precarious situation. Trying to positively identify somebody who may have or may be using a fake ID. If there's a chance I could have you run both and see if any of them come back and maybe send me pictures in an email of what their IDs come back as.
Yep.
That is super weird. Do you see resemblance in those?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
But yeah, they're
So I have a feeling these are both the same guy, but he has different IDs. That's crazy. Because their software here, they have this facial recognition software here at the Peppermill, and he came back as a 100% match for the character who was previously trespassed. So I have a feeling he's somehow making some fake identification or something, but I mean, if you're pulling them up, then they're legitimate.
Yeah, they're both through the DMV at least. He's somehow able to get them.
So you would think that right then and there, that would be case closed. He was able to contact dispatch, and they were able to pull up both of these people's IDs and confirm that these are two different people. These are not the same guy. However, for some reason, Officer Jaeger here isn't taking that as enough evidence. That's clearly, that's not enough evidence for him. If they both have their own driver's licenses and dispatch pulls them up as being two different people, that is enough evidence to prove that they are not the same guy. But Officer Jaeger here keeps going the route of, oh, well, maybe he's forging these somehow. He has connections down at the DMV, and he's like getting a buddy of his to make himself fake IDs. That's not impossible. My guy, sometimes the answer is so obvious. Sometimes it's literally right in front of you. It's the simplest thing. Why would anyone spend that much money on a fake ID just to, walk around one casino? There's a billion casinos in Nevada.
All of these driver's licenses are both valid. So either he is who he says he is, and he's not ever actually trespassed, which I doubt because their software is pretty cool, and the fact that he's acting super suspicious.
Spoken truly like a man who doesn't understand how software works. Truly, he has no idea how that AI even works at all. Has no clue how any of this shit works. Okay.
2, I just have a feeling somehow maybe he's got a hookup with the DMV where he's got 2 different driver's licenses that are registered with the Department of Motor Vehicles with different names and dates of birth. So I guess I'll arrest him on that and then just list him as a John Doe and then have him booked in for a wins check.
That was the best solution he could come up with. Arrest him anyway and then book him down at the station, and then they can confirm it so that I don't have to make a decision right here and now. I'm a good police officer. I can't believe this guy's about to get arrested because an AI system claims he's someone who he's not. And even his ID isn't enough to dissuade this investigate. What's the point of the ID if you can't identify someone from the ID? If you send the IDs to dispatch and they tell you, yep, these are 2 different IDs that are registered and they both link back to real people, what's the point if you can't even trust the IDs? Why do I carry an ID in my pocket if an AI system can come through, show a picture of some random black guy, and say that's me? And then the police are just going to believe it? They're not even going to look at my ID and the other guy's ID and say, oh, these are 2 different people, 2 different attributes. They're going to look at the IDs and say, well, but the AI says it's a 100% match. So these IDs must not be right. Nothing we can do. That's fucking stupid.
So right now, because I can't identify you, man, it's weird. Because essentially it looks like you have 2 names. I don't know, man. So I can't identify you. Unfortunately, that means that they can't cite you.
Officer Jagger collects Jason's things, which includes his driver's license, a Peppermill player's card in the name Jason Killinger, and a debit card from his credit union in the name of Jason Killinger.
He's got a debit card in his name, bro. What? He has a debit card. Is that not enough evidence? A debit card? You can't just put any name down when you open a debit account. If he has a debit card in his name, is that not more proof that he is who... Why?
Can't be cited, then you are arrested. So,
I'm arrested.
yep, I'm
I'm
going to.
jail.
Yep,
Are you kidding me?
I'm not a joker, man. So, you'll be arrested and you'll get fingerprinted up at the jail, and then they'll be able to discern your identity and what the mix-up is with this stuff. At this point, our hands are tied because, you know, a reasonable and prudent person would, based off the software, based off the pictures, based off of even your driver's license picture, make the reasonable conclusion that all three are the same person, just two different IDs with two different names.
Any reasonable person would come across two separate IDs and probably assume those are two different, especially if you ran those IDs through the dispatch and then the dispatch told you these two IDs both come back positive for two different people. Thus, these are both two legitimate IDs. Thus, this man is this man and the other man is the other man. They are not the same. But for some reason, you know, I guess it makes more sense to Officer Jaeger here. Jagger, I don't know. Jager. I keep saying Jaeger, but I think it's Jaeger. I think you pronounce the J. Anyway, he thinks that this is all one big fucking DMV scam where this guy's got a buddy at the DMV making him fake IDs, making him fake profiles for the dispatch. Let this be a lesson that sometimes in life, the simplest approach is the best. It's literally just as simple as the AI fucked up and identified this guy as someone who's not.
Jason's ID is a Nevada Real ID driver's license. In order to obtain a Nevada Real ID driver's license, a person must present themselves at the DMV with proof of identity such as a birth certificate or a current U.S. passport or U.S. passport card, a social security card, and 2 documents proving Nevada residence.
All I want to do is play some goddamn dice and make some money. Yeah.
Later, Jason would reveal that along with a check stub in his vehicle, he also had a current vehicle registration for his car in his name, a Department of Transportation medical card, a Teamsters Local 533 union card, and a valid vehicle insurance card, all in his name.
All of that identification, all of that, and it's useless because the police refuse to identify you without a fingerprint. What is the point of any of this? All of these things require like the validation. You need to prove that you are who you are in order to get, like, you need to have all of that information. So if he has this, clearly he is his own person. How is none of this enough evidence? Fuck. We as a society are putting way too much trust in AI. God damn it. There's too many stupid fucking people out there who can't think for themselves, who would rather trust AI because they're too fucking lazy to seek the truth and, you know, try.
Officer Jagger's police report would later state that, quote, due to John Doe having conflicting identification, he lacked satisfactory evidence to reasonably assure me that he was who he claimed to be.
It's not me. I don't know what the
Yeah, it's one of those, like I said, man, if it turns out that it's not you, it's one of those ones you can call the director and be like, hey man, your software is made it a critical error.
This is what my tax dollars are paying for?
I really felt that one. This is what my tax dollars are being used for. Yeah, that's what I think every time a new AI data center is being built up and they fucking force all the skyrocketing electricity prices on the, you know, average Joe. And also take note as to how the police officer's like, well, there's nothing I can do. You know, you're just fucked, buddy. I don't know. I'm just a police officer. You can file a complaint that says the AI was wrong, but I have to arrest you.
If all goes well, you should be out of those cuffs in the next, hopefully, 8 to 10 minutes.
Okay, good. All because some that looks like me was sleeping in the casino. It's not me.
It wasn't long before the fingerprint analysis conclusively established that Jason had been telling the truth all along, and he was in fact Jason Killinger. Later that same day, around 4 p.m., Jason was released from the jail on his own recognizance.
Wow, look at that. And all it took was probably an entire day. What a waste of time. Jesus Christ. They couldn't identify him from his ID, from his bank card, from his vehicle registration, from his insurance. Couldn't identify him from any of that. They had to take him down to the station, get his fingerprint, store that fingerprint for their own AI probably. And then that's what it took for them to be like, oh, you are a real person. Okay, sorry about that. If I were this guy, I'd probably sue the police or the casino or somebody. I don't know. I'm suing somebody. I don't even know if I can or if I have any legal ground to stand on, but I'd sue. But Jason didn't go that route. He filed a complaint though against Officer Jaeger and the casino, I think. Let's find out.
The day after his release on September 18, 2023, he went to renowned urgent care Vista, where he was diagnosed with a strain of both the right and left shoulder and contusions on both wrists. On July 30, 2025, Jason filed a complaint in federal court against Reno police officer Richard Jagger. While at the jail and after his identity had been confirmed, his arrest papers were changed from John Doe to Jason Killinger. The federal complaint states that this meant Jason would be prosecuted for trespassing. According to the complaint, Jason's charge of trespassing was eventually dismissed. However, he now has a criminal record.
What a dick. Why the fuck is that cop such an asshole? He crossed out John Doe and then put his name as if he actually committed a crime. Why wasn't the charges dropped as soon as he was identified as Jason? Why would they put him down as a trespasser? He was never trespassed. Literally, cops don't give a fuck about you. They will ruin your life without a moment's notice. They don't care. Jesus Christ, this guy has a criminal record now. And all he wanted to do was gamble. AI has definitely changed this guy's life. Now he has a criminal record. If you see a clanker out in the streets, make sure you give him one of these for me. So yet another person's life ruined by AI. And we're next. It's only a matter of time before it's integrated in every single part of our lives against our will, because the fucking elites spend billions of dollars on bullshit. But no, that's the end of the video. So I just found it completely fucked up that this guy's life has been completely changed over a faulty AI. This is just truly a failure on the police's part, the Reno police specifically. But that's the end of the video. So thank you for watching. I have to edit this now. Bye.